Try and snipe him from further away. Where are my bullets going right now? And what did he just die to? He just ripped. Oh my god. I chased him to death. Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to another episode of War Thunder with me, Spacefish, and back to a plane today, and a rather beautiful one indeed, which may be very reminiscent of a rather recent episode for you all, as it is the Meteor MK4, which of course will be a bit of a throwback to the Meteor F MK3 right here. Now, at first glimpse, except for the paint scheme, there does not seem to be much of a difference. You know, the engine housing does look slightly differently, but that would be about everything, giving away that there is actually a difference between these two planes. But I have to say, quite honestly, the difference is really quite massive. Now, for a start, you do have, of course, battle rating difference, with the Meteor MK4 being at 7.7 as opposed to the 7.0 of the Meteor F MK3. So, quite the jump in battle rating, but I feel quite a justified one. Now, while the Meteor F MK3 was honestly quite a decent all-rounder, strong plane in its own shape, the Meteor MK4 kind of builds on all the properties that you were kind of used to from that plane, but amplifies very especially the engine power, the max speed, and the climb rate to a whole nother level. Now, this thing is kind of at a battle rating where you may actually even start seeing MiG-17s, you may start seeing the odd Sabre or two, and I've very much done so. But I have honestly not been all too worried about it, and I think that it is very competitive even in games with them, and if it gets down to its own BR or even is in a down tier, this thing will absolutely shred everything in its way. Now, the base formula for this plane is still very much what you're used to, right? You've got the 4 20mm Hispano Mark 5s, which with the air target belts are absolutely awesome. Big recommendation, honestly, to get those, like, literally first things first. You can research it from the first tier of modifications, and I would honestly very much recommend you do so, because I think it is very worth it. I'm pretty sure, and we can double check on the modification site here, that the base belt still has training shells or practice shells. As you can see right here, the P shell's in there, do absolutely nothing. So if that one happens to hit a target you were shooting up on, and it was the only shell, you know, that's a hit, but it doesn't do anything to the other guy. So definitely very worthwhile picking it up. You can get it in the very first tier, and honestly, I just started with this and then went straight on to the compressor. So I think a very worthwhile investment. Now, you still get the absolutely beautiful turn time from the Meteor F MK3. You can see mine is currently at 20.3 because I don't have the plane spaded perfectly quite yet. I am still missing the cover right here, which is going to decrease the turn time by 0.3 seconds actually, which is quite the big win, because if we look right here, we are also at 20.2 seconds with the Mark III also not being quite spaded. So they are very close to each other in terms of turn time. Roll rate, I think, is pretty similar, so that's something to watch out for, because it's honestly not good, and the higher you speed, the worse it really gets. You do get rudder locks a lot with this, so you do want to mind that when going very high speeds. The air brakes are quite good, so you can, I think, mostly maintain 100% engine power in a more or less straight dive and not overspeed with air brakes on, which is great. You can bleed speed when you need to actually be able to roll and turn a bit better. And, well, the acceleration is good as ever. Well, good as ever, more like better than ever, because this thing now has a 35.7 meters a second climb rate, not even fully spaded, which is absolutely insane. I'm pretty sure that MiGs have like 40. We can surely double check real quick. Give me 1 second. So as you can see right here, the German MiG-15 Biz has got 50 meters a second. So we're a bit behind on that, but honestly, fully spaded, I'm pretty sure this thing is going to get to about like 38 to 40 meters a second, which for 7.7 BR is pretty insane. I have had a good bunch of games with this plane just yet, and honestly, never really found anything that outclimbed me. I mean, even the MiG-15s were usually at my flight level when I did encounter them. So absolutely great, honestly, absolutely great. It very much helps a lot, and just kind of takes that role that the Meteor F MK4 had as 7.0 BR and kind of continues on with it. You know, it's just as strong at that BR with climbing, so absolutely great. And the big improvement, I think, to the Meteor F MK4 is honestly the max speed. Now, you still don't go as fast as a Sabre. You probably also don't go as fast as a MiG, but those planes are a whole BR above you. But you do go 936 kilometers an hour, which is, if we look back at this thing, the speed was fully maxed on this already, and we were going 755. And I haven't even come to the max level with this. You know, if we get the cover, that's going to give us another 9.4 kilometers an hour. So we're basically going to be going around 945 kilometers an hour max speed, which for the BR is honestly good enough. You know, the thing is, in a dive, I'm pretty sure you can go a bit faster without overspeeding, which was a big issue with the Mark III. You can keep up with pretty much everything from my experience. You can run away from most of everything, except for Sabres and MiGs, obviously. And, well, for those things that you can't run away from, you can definitely outturn them. So, I feel it's got a lot of advantages, and whatever it kind of goes up against, it has got some sort of card to play. Either you out-accelerate them, or you outturn them, and it's definitely one very versatile and enjoyable plane, and I feel that at its BR, it's honestly even a bit stronger than the Mark III. Now, other than that, I've generally really had quite pleasant experiences with this plane, you know. For one, I've not found a single F-89D yet, which is great, especially given that this thing is basically at the same BR as the F-89D. I would have expected a lot more encounters with that plane. Luckily, that has next to never happened in all my games. It may be the case that it's just because I had the Americans on my side a fair few times as well, or it may just be that, I don't know, you just encounter it less and the F-89D just gets a lot of down tiers. I really don't know, but honestly, one way or another, I am pretty happy about that, because if you'll remember, that was the absolute bane of me in the Meteor F MK3. So, great news right there, and well, other than that, I mean, it's been an absolute joy flying this plane. You rip everything to shreds with your beautiful Hispanos. You've got a lot of speed, you've got a lot of acceleration, you're very good at turning, and if you manage to somehow not plow yourself into the ground while going a bit fast in a straight dive and kind of having an issue with your ailerons, then you're absolutely golden. So, a very enjoyable plane in my eyes, but let's go and actually dive into some clips, and hopefully I can show you a bunch also that this is indeed a very cool and enjoyable plane to fly. So, I'll see you on the other side of this cut. Alright, and here we are now in the first game ever. Well, at least with you guys in this YouTube video. So as you can see, we definitely are in a bit of an uptier. We've got an F-86, F-35 here, and well, all the Americans are on our side, so not a single F-89D, which is a great start. Generally, just kind of feel happy for the opposing team, to be honest, and well, we're definitely not going to find one on the other side of the match, which is also pretty great. And as you can see, I mean, my acceleration is pretty dank. I'm basically, woo, outspeeding that F-86, F-35 right there. That was a bit close for my eyes, to be honest. I really didn't enjoy that one, but I also really didn't want to break my gear. So, taking off then with this beauty of a plane, honestly, I don't know what it is about the Meteors, you know, they're honestly kind of big and chunky somewhat, but like, they are so aerodynamically formed in another way and so sleek. I just think the Meteor is like one of the best looking planes in the game, honestly. I absolutely love the look. I don't know about you all. Let me know what you think down below, but I think it is absolutely great. Now, about this plane, I mean, I think with the Meteor Mark III, we were usually climbing at like 550 kilometers an hour, fully spaded. With this one, with no spading, it's like a 10-degree climb at 600 kilometers an hour. And with the spading that I currently have, I can, as you see, go 664 kilometers an hour on a 10-degree climb, and just zoom climb away. It is absolutely glorious. I'm really, really, really enjoying that, I'll have to say. And just look at the beautiful sunset in the background. I'm just gonna have to, 1 second guys, I will just have to do this here, and I'm pretty certain that we already have a thumbnail for our episode, so welcome if you were here for this beautiful moment. But let's move on into the battle then. So I don't think it's really much of anything to say. Like, if you have seen the Meteor Mark III video, you know there's not really many add-ons on how I fly this plane. I just zoom climb off to the side, go to like, I don't know, I mean it kind of depends where I see the enemies at, like 3-4 kilometers. It really doesn't matter that much as long as I can kind of maintain some energy superiority with this thing, because that's of course what it is good at, you know, climbing a lot early in the game, gaining all that energy, and then just pushing the enemies down further and further and killing them one after another while they lose energy and you just retain all yours. Or even if you bleed a bunch, you know, you've got so good acceleration that you can mostly, you know, regain that energy quite nicely. And you can see there's an enemy MiG-15 on the opposing team, of course, so that is, of course, going to be not too fun of an encounter for us when we do have that, but honestly, I've shot down sabers in this thing before, so I wouldn't think that shooting MiGs down is that much more troublesome either. It is troublesome, but it is very much doable. Now, with that said, we're already at nearly 4 kilometers of altitude. I don't know, the time passes so quick, I didn't even notice in this thing. It's of course not as crazy as like my MiG-21 or something, but it is still indeed very, very great of an experience. And I mean, 4 kilometers, 600 kilometers an hour, not much to worry about. Hopefully not the same thing's gonna happen to me again than in the last episode. I'm not sure if I'll leave my death in or not, but basically I just got like, I got 1 hit in from a MiG-15, and while it didn't really do any like crazy damage to my airplane, basically my airplane instantly turned into a torch and just burned to the ground over like the next 2 minutes or something. So really not a pleasant experience, but in return it seems that the game is this time around actually throwing the first F-89D encounter ever in this plane at me. So also not too much better. Let's hope that guy is not going to go straight after us, and maybe kind of try and stay out of his way a bit too while he is going after the person right behind me, I think. Or maybe he's diving down on someone? Feels like he's diving down on someone. Okay, so we do have the speed now to keep up with this kind of plane, so I say we will try to, and actually try and help our poor J-28. Oh god, poor dude. But as you can see, we can now very much keep up with this thing, as we're a Mark 4, not a Mark 3. Now I only need to actually hit him, which is a bit more of a challenge to me, but we can hold the speed. Try and snipe him from further away. Where are my bullets going right now? And what did he just die to? He just ripped. Oh my god. I chased him to death. Wow. Okay, so I've got no clue where my bullets went. I was probably just bad at shooting. But wow, I just chased an F-89D to death. Feels pretty good, man, I'll have to say. I mean, you can see we were not anywhere close to redlining this thing, so at its tier, very, very good at actually keeping up with people. Now there's an F-80 coming in, or not. Where are you going, mate? Alright, everybody, and welcome back to another one. So, as you can see, this is very much, yet again, a game with well, pretty even to us or lower down we are. There's been a bunch of meteors Mark 3s in here thus far on my team that I could see, so I'm kind of hoping for a good match. That said, there seems to be an F-890 out, so you never quite know, but I may as well just end up chasing him to death again, right? Wasn't that fun? I think we're going to repeat that eventually. But as you can see, we're pretty well for energy right here, as there's an F7, F1, latching onto the back of that MD4 50 that I would like to help out, but he's got an F-89D there too, so I'm going to have to approach this very carefully. The F-89D seems to be zeroed in on different targets, so we're going to help this MD out, hopefully save him from the wrath of the F7, F1, and we do indeed. That's great news there, and we crit him. Nice stuff right there. First kill of the day, and we will swiftly move on to the next one, which seems to be this kicker just going head on with us. Or not. Oh, that one's not going head on with us. Okay. He doesn't want to. In that case, I'm just going to go straight, because, you know, I've got some nice and fancy energy that I would like to retain. He is trying to help out his A2D1 buddy instead, which is a valid thing to do from my point of view, and we are going to go and latch back onto the part of the battle like this instead. There's an F2G1 actually on this MD450 instead now, and he does seem to be taking some damage now, so not looking all too great for him, as we do miss that prop. Unfortunately, I'm going to go straight. Going to retain that energy. He's not going to be able to latch onto me, is he? No. Okay. So we're going to keep going straight. That F-89D we don't really want to take head on, so we're going to try and ignore him. And that does seem to be working well for us indeed, and the F2G1 is losing a lot of... No, he's going further away from us, so doing rather well there. So I'm going to keep going straight, keep going for this F2G1, which seems to be in a battle with the ME262, hopefully going to help my buddy out right there. And, yeah, then we'll see how well we can do for him on that. Nice! Got his, got the person that followed him, got the person that wanted to kill him, so he seems happy, and that is great news indeed. So we're going to go back into the battle, and hopefully kill a few more dudes. That was 2 in our books thus far, I think, and the team seems to be doing rather well overall. Saved like 2 people thus far. I'm not sure... The one that I... Oh yeah, the MD450 is still alive. I think that is the same one. He got hit by that prop after we saved him the first time, if you remember. But he seems to be... He's still limping it back to the base with the smoking engine now. So hopefully he is going to go and make it in the very end. Now the F2G1 seems to be latched back onto the battle, and he's been annoying for my team for a while now. So I'm going to try and actually take him out. I think he's very well the priority target over the A2D1 here. And we are honestly a bit fast, so let me air brake, bleed a bit of that speed, and try and go for some shots on him. Gonna hit him, we're gonna go a bit fast, and that's what I was saying with the dangers of actually going too fast in this plane, because I was nearly not able to steer anymore right there. But that's an enemy kill assist for us right there. The F2G1 being nicely taken out by our team after a small little hit, so good news right there. Kicker left, and a B-29 somewhere up there, which, flipping B-29s, I was just like the other game, climbing after one for 2 years. I decided to climb to the moon and never come back, so very, very annoying that, but we do eventually get them all, especially in a plane that's climbing as good as this one. Now, the kicker, obviously not got any speed on us, especially with that engine damage, so, except when I get, like, lags, should be very much able to get him. Did crit him, but we're in front of him now, so that's a bit of a dangerous situation. All fine, though. So, he lost tail control. He may end up crashing due to that, which would be nice. Or my team will kill him, I don't know, but we'll find out momentarily here. He does appear to be J'ing out. Okay, so that is the 3rd kill this game in our books. Absolutely beautiful, isn't it? So, 3 kills, 1 assist. I think a very, very successful and enjoyable match in my books. And now there's a B-29 left somewhere, which I think he was right around over there. So, we've got enough cannon shells left for him, theoretically, so Let's see if we can find him. If yes, I will report back in with you. If not, we'll probably go for one more clip. So either way, I'll see you whenever something happens. Alright everybody, and welcome to Operation Sicily. Now this game is like starting super fast for some reason. I mean, the map is not really even all that small, but like one of our SK-60s already died. The other two took out two A2Ds, so absolutely insane what's going on here within a few minutes in the battle while we are still very much in our climb at a slightly slanted angle, and right to the sunset as well. Isn't this beautiful? I think this may be the alternative. This may actually be the alternative thumbnail, so I'm sure you will all find out which one it will be. Either option probably be pretty dank, so I hope you will like it. But with that said, I'm going to convert some of my leftover energy to some altitude, and I'm actually going to start converging on the fight right here. So it appears there is yet another F-89D, which spells trouble, but we'll see how that is all going to go. It's apparently the LA-200 that's got him latched onto him, so I would really like to help him out, but he seems to be running straight away, so we'll have to see about this. I'm gonna try and basically just go to like some crazy altitude where I can unexpectedly pounce on him from above. That's kind of gonna be my idea here, because 4.2 kilometers, he's not gonna climb after me like that. He does not also seem to be going directly for me, so we're gonna go and actually pounce down on him now. Hopefully my camera is gonna turn in a second here. And we're going to go and put the air brakes in, because otherwise we're probably going to end up over speeding. So let's see what we can do here. I spammed a bit much, but you see all the hate. Can you feel the hate for that plane? Just spamming every single little bullet into that flippin' F-89D. It feels so good. It feels so good! What do I even say? It just feels way too good murdering that plane. I never needed to spend this many bullets, but god, does it feel good. Oh god. Oh boy! Worth. Absolutely 100% worth. I don't even care. I murdered an F-89D. This was a great, great game. Even though I maybe took that head on a bit spiritedly, but I was kind of afraid of killing my LA-200 with my bullets. Otherwise I would have probably just shot him early and killed him. But one way or another, I think this was a great game. Just to finish it off, the F-89D killer chased one down, murdered the other one. All the hatred just flying right into that F-89D with those bullets. Absolutely great indeed. Let's let our pilot exit before he well, crashes to his death, and then we're going to end it off with this. So, I'm going to see you all in the menu. Alright everyone, so back we are here now, and it's time to kind of reflect on the aircraft, and what a fitting clip to finish this video off with. The second F-89D absolutely murdered with this thing. You can see just how much better this thing is against the F-89D than the Meteor F MK3. I can keep up with the F-89D, and I can go faster without even risking ripping my wings off, while he ripped his wings off in the first one, and I absolutely murdered the other one in the second clip. So it feels so good to finally be on the other side of that barrel, and god, do I love this plane. It feels so much better than the Meteor F MK3, even though I think both are really strong for their BR, but the Meteor F MK3 just gets murdered by the constant up tiers against the F-89D, while this thing, even if it finds an F-89D, doesn't even have to be all too scared about it, because you can get more energy. You just dive down from above, you outspeed them, you absolutely murder them with your guns, and they can really not outturn you very well either. So it's finally, you know, it's finally the paper to the rock that is the F-89D, the scissors to the paper that is the F-89D. I was waiting for a plane to murder that F-89D with, and I think I finally found it. So overall, honestly, I mean, I think you all were expecting it a bit from my intro. My like ultimate thoughts on this thing are it's absolutely great. I'm madly in love with it. I'm really enjoying flying it, and I mean, on top of that, it's just an absolute beauty. Just look at this thing. I think it looks absolutely great, and what else can I say? I absolutely love it. As I said, I don't really think that, like, given the BR increase, like, for its BR, I don't really think it's that much stronger than the Meteor. It's just that in the environment it plays, and it usually gets placed into in terms of BR, due to the F89D being such a pain for the Meteor Mark III, that's just kind of why it is better in, like, the BR environment. For the BR itself, I think the Mark III is equally of a strong plane, honestly, for its BR, but, well, this just got amped up a bit in terms of BR, and empowered a bit in terms of its statistics, and it just absolutely wrecks face, because with the BR environment, and where it usually gets placed in the game, it is just comparatively, in the games that you usually get, a good bunch stronger. So I think definitely if you can these days, get your hands on it, get into a Meteor Mark 4. It is a beautiful plane, it's a beautifully performing plane, and you finally get to kill each and every one of these pesky F89Ds that we all so much hate. So I am going to end it on this note. I hope you very much enjoyed the video. As always, if you did, please make sure to hit that like button down below. That does always help out a ton with the YouTube algorithm, and if you haven't done so just yet and want to see more F89Ds murdered in the future, as well as much more War Thunder content, also definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button right down below, as well as the bell icon right next to that, to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes on War Thunder and many other games. But with all that out of the way, as always everyone, thanks a lot for watching, and I hope I'll catch you in the next one very soon. Ciao.